Walk into Harbor Freight today, and you will see something most shoppers completely miss. Tool brands that dominated for decades are vanishing fast, and if you are still buying them, you are gambling with money you cannot afford to lose. These are not random brands struggling. These are names people trusted for years, but trust is not enough anymore. What killed them? And more importantly, which brands should you avoid before you waste another dollar? Soon you will know exactly where not to spend your money in 2026. Let us start with the brand that should scare everyone: Craftsman. Once upon a time, Craftsman was the safe choice. Did not know tools? Buy Craftsman. Did know tools? You still respected it. That reputation is doing all the work now because the brand itself is not. The biggest problem is identity collapse. Under one logo, you will find tools made in different countries, built to wildly different standards, and priced across completely different tiers, all sold side by side. For buyers, that creates hesitation. People do not mind paying more or less, but they do mind not knowing what they are getting. After multiple ownership changes, Craftsman stopped behaving like a unified brand. It started behaving like a label slapped across unrelated product lines. Some tools work fine for light use. Others feel cheaper than competitors at the same price. And premium attempts mostly quietly disappeared, signaling Craftsman pulled back from competing at the higher end. Here is why that matters. Tool buyers do not just buy one item. They buy into systems and trust. When shoppers cannot predict quality from the name alone, they stop defaulting to it. They hesitate, and they move on to brands that feel consistent. Retail behavior proves this. Craftsman is positioned as a convenience brand now, not a destination brand. It fills space because it is there, not because it pulls customers in. The takeaway? Craftsman is not dead, but it is no longer a safe blind buy. You can find decent tools, but only if you research the exact line. As a long-term system brand, it no longer commands automatic trust. And once a brand loses that status, the decline is already underway. Porter Cable shows how a brand fades without making headlines. No scandal, no recall, just slow irrelevance while the market moved on. For years, Porter Cable was reliable mid-tier, safe for homeowners and light pros. It wasn't flashy, but it felt dependable. That worked until the tool industry fundamentally changed how people buy. The cordless revolution reshaped everything. Batteries stopped being accessories. They became the foundation of buying decisions. Shoppers stopped evaluating tools individually. They started evaluating ecosystems. The question became, does this brand look committed to supporting a platform for years? That's where Porter Cable fell behind. As competitors expanded cordless lineups, Porter Cable's development slowed. New releases became rare. Battery options stayed limited. Even if existing tools worked fine, the future felt uncertain. Buyers don't like guessing whether replacement batteries will exist in 5 years, or whether new tools will ever be added. Retail behavior reinforces this. Porter Cable tools lost shelf space, shifting to online-only or smaller footprints. To buyers, that signals reduced retailer confidence. And once a brand stops being visible, it stops being considered. The result isn't outrage, it's indifference. People aren't talking about Porter Cable at all. It's simply not part of the conversation. In a market driven by systems and planning, being ignored is worse than being disliked. For new buyers considering cordless platforms, the risk feels unnecessary. Too many alternatives show clearer commitment. Porter Cable hasn't disappeared, but it slipped out of buyer planning. And once that happens, the road back is very narrow. Kobalt's situation is different, but not safer, more unpredictable. Kobalt is a house brand. Its future isn't driven by independent demand. It's tied almost entirely to one retailer's strategy. As long as that retailer believes the brand supports their goals, Kobalt survives. If priorities shift, the brand can change direction or disappear fast. That dependency creates hesitation. At times, Cobalt looks pushed toward a serious pro-adjacent role, Other times it feels like mid-tier filler between budget and premium. Those shifts aren't communicated clearly, and buyers notice. When a brand's direction feels fluid, people hesitate to commit long-term. Cordless platforms amplify this concern. Buying into Cobalt often means locking yourself into one store for tools, batteries, replacements, and support. For some buyers, that's fine. For others, it feels like unnecessary risk, especially when competing platforms are sold across multiple retailers and show clearer long-term investment. There are also continuity issues. House brands pivot quickly. Lines get refreshed, rebranded, or quietly retired. When that happens, compatibility questions creep in. Will this battery matter in 5 years? Will this tool line expand or stall? Buyers don't need definitive answers, they just need enough doubt to choose something else. And that's exactly what's happening. Cobalt isn't rejected outright, it's treated cautiously. People buy individual tools, but fewer commit to full systems unless value is extremely clear. Cobalt isn't on the brink because of quality. It's on the brink because its fate isn't fully its own. When shoppers sense a brand's future depends on decisions made far above the tool aisle, many decide not to gamble. Skil sits in one of the most unforgiving positions in the tool market: entry-level power tools. This is where brands live or die based on visibility, confidence, and momentum. Right now, Skil is struggling on all three. At a glance, Skil should be fine. The brand is recognizable. Pricing is competitive. Tools are aimed at homeowners and casual do-it-yourselfers. But that space has become brutally crowded. Nearly every major retailer now carries multiple budget to mid-range options, many backed by louder marketing and clearer platform messaging. That is where Skil fades. For buyers walking into stores, Skil does not stand out. The packaging does not clearly communicate why it is better than the tool sitting next to it. The cordless ecosystem does not feel expansive enough to signal long-term commitment. When shelf space is limited, brands that do not pull customers in get quietly pushed aside. Retail behavior reflects this. Skil tools appear inconsistently across locations, sometimes heavily discounted, sometimes missing altogether. That inconsistency creates doubt. Shoppers wonder whether the brand is supported long-term or just rotated through as a temporary option. Confidence took another hit when battery-related issues entered the conversation. Even when problems are addressed, entry-level buyers are especially sensitive to anything suggesting inconvenience or risk. At this tier, people want tools that feel simple and safe, not something they need to think about. The result? Skil has become a brand people consider briefly, then pass over. Not because it is unusable, but because it does not feel like the safest or clearest choice anymore. And in a crowded aisle, clarity wins. For consumers, buying into a budget cordless platform only makes sense if you believe the brand will still be easy to find, easy to support, and easy to expand later. When that confidence is not there, even a good price is not enough. Here's the brand that proves how fast things can collapse when confidence breaks completely. This is about Craftsman's attempt to reclaim the premium market and their Pro Series line. Craftsman launched what looked like a serious play for professional users: better materials, improved warranties, premium pricing. The message was clear: trust us again at the top tier. But here's what happened. Pros did not bite. They had already been burned by inconsistent quality across Craftsman's regular lines. The brand had spent years training customers that the name no longer guaranteed anything specific. So when Craftsman said trust us with premium tools, the response was skepticism. Why would a professional risk their livelihood on a brand that could not maintain consistent quality in its mid-tier products? The Pro Series faced another problem: shelf space. Retailers already had established premium brands performing well: Milwaukee, DeWalt, Makita. These were not just brands, they were proven ecosystems with loyal followings. Craftsman Pro Series had to compete not just on quality, but on trust that had taken competitors decades to build. And it had to do this while its parent brand was simultaneously confusing buyers with inconsistent quality across other product lines. The result? Most Pro Series tools have quietly disappeared from shelves. This shows something critical about tool brands. You cannot rebuild premium trust while simultaneously destroying it elsewhere. Craftsman tried to be everything to everyone. The market rejected that approach. Buyers want clarity. They want to know exactly what they are getting when they see a brand name. So what is the pattern here? What do all these failing brands have in common? It is not bad tools. It is broken confidence. Some stopped evolving while the market moved on. Others became trapped by corporate debt, retailer control, or fragile distribution. In many cases, the tools still work fine, but the future of the brand no longer feels reliable enough for buyers to commit. Once that doubt creeps in, buyers quietly choose safer bets, and sales dry up without much noise. But here's the flip side. While these brands struggle, others are thriving, and they are doing it by being everything these failing brands are not. Take Harbor Freight's premium lines, Hercules, Icon, Bauer. Each tier knows exactly what it is. Budget buyers get Warrior, mid-tier buyers get Bauer, serious users get Hercules. There is no confusion about what you are buying. The lesson? In 2026, tool buyers reward clarity and punish confusion. They reward commitment and punish uncertainty. They reward platforms and punish one-off tools. Before you spend another dollar on tools, ask yourself 3 questions. 1. Does this brand have a clear identity, or is it trying to be everything to everyone? 2. Is the platform actively growing, or does it feel stalled and uncertain? 3. Will I be able to find replacement batteries, accessories, and warranty support 5 years from now? If this video helped you avoid wasting money on uncertain brands, hit subscribe. You will get more straight-to-the-point breakdowns.